Are you the surviving spouse or child of a veteran or service member who died due to a service-related injury or illness, or while in the line of duty? If so, you may be eligible for a tax-free monetary benefit called VA Dependency and Indemnity Compensation, which we call DIC for short. The contact information in the video is also located in the video description on YouTube. How would you know if you qualify for DIC benefits based on your relationship to the veteran? Let's go over VA's eligibility requirements to be considered a surviving spouse or child of the veteran. Married to a service member who dies on active duty for training, or inactive duty training or valid marriage to the veteran before January 1st, 1957, or married to the veteran who had been rated as totally disabled due to a service-connected disability prior to his or her death, typically for at least 10 years. Married the veteran within 15 years of discharge from the period of military service resulting in the service-connected death, or was married to the veteran for at least 1 year, or had a child with the veteran and cohabitated with the veteran continuously until the veteran's death, or if separated, was not at fault for the separation, and is not currently remarried. To qualify for DIC as surviving spouse of the veteran, one of the following must also be true about your relationship with the veteran. The surviving spouse must have been married to the veteran or service member within 15 years of their discharge from the period of military service during which the qualifying illness or injury started or got worse, or married to the veteran or service member for at least 1 year, or had a child with the veteran or service member. Additionally, the following must be true. You must have lived with the veteran or service member without a break until their death, or if you were separated from the veteran, you were not at fault for the separation. Please note, survivors of LGBTQ+ veterans may be eligible for survivors' benefits even if their veteran spouse died before their marriage met VA's length of marriage requirements, 1 year for survivors' benefits, 8 years for a higher rate of benefits. VA will count the duration of marriage from when the surviving spouse can establish a marriage-type relationship, such as commitment ceremony, joint banking account, or joint purchase of a house. To qualify for DIC as a surviving child, you must be unmarried, under the age of 18, or 23 if attending school, and cannot be considered a dependent on a surviving spouse's active duty DIC award. If you believe you meet any of those requirements, VA will need evidence that the veteran died while on active duty for training or inactive duty training, or died due to a service-connected illness or injury. If the veteran didn't die due to a service-connected illness or injury, you may be eligible to receive DIC if the veteran was eligible to receive VA compensation for a service-connected disability that was rated as totally disabling for at least 10 years before their death, or since their release from active duty, and for at least 5 years immediately before their death, or for at least 1 year before their death if they were a former prisoner of war who died after September 30th, 1999. Not exactly sure what type of evidence you need to submit? Please continue watching to find out more information about what evidence and documents you need to submit with your DIC claim. Now let's briefly go over what is needed. To apply for DIC benefits, you'll need to submit a completed VA Form 21P-534EZ application, the veteran's discharge paper such as a DD-214 or equivalent, a copy of the veteran's death certificate, and any medical evidence related to the claim conditions. There may be other supporting documentation that could be required, such as marriage certificates and birth certificates if children are being claimed. When submitting your application and supporting evidence, please submit clear and legible copies of the forms and evidence, as our systems use scanning technology to evaluate your claim. Do not worry if you still need assistance with exactly what is required. VA has many great resources available for your reference. Please visit our website on the screen. You may also call our VA benefits hotline at 1-800-827-1000 with any questions. Before we talk about how to submit your application, I want to inform you about a recent law change that expands eligibility to DIC benefits. On August 10, 2022, the Sergeant First Class Heath Robinson, honoring our promise to address Comprehensive Toxics Act of 2022, or PACT Act for short, was signed into law. The PACT Act is a new law that expands VA health care and benefits for veterans exposed to burn pits and other toxic substances. The PACT Act brings many changes to VA health care and benefits, including the addition of more than 20 new presumptive conditions for burn pits and other toxic exposures, and the addition of more presumptive exposures locations for Agent Orange and radiation. Please visit our website at www.va.gov/PACT to get a full list of the new presumptive conditions and exposure locations included under the PACT Act. If the veteran's cause of death is related to one of the new presumptive conditions and we denied your DIC claim in the past, and we think you may be eligible now, we'll try to contact you. We may be able to reevaluate your claim. However, you don't need to wait for us to contact you before you reapply. Follow the steps in this video to submit your application as soon as possible. If you want VA to reevaluate a previously denied claim, please use question 7A on the VA Form 21P-534EZ to make this request. Now, for the most important part, how do you apply? There are two simple ways to apply for DIC benefits. You can apply online at www.va.gov, or if you prefer to mail in your application, you may send it to the Department of Veteran Affairs Pension Intake Center as listed on the screen. You can also call our toll-free number at 1-800-827-1000. Our VA contact representatives are available to assist you Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Do you want a fast and accurate decision on your VA DIC claim? Please be sure to follow all the guidance presented in this video. Submitting a complete application with the required evidence will result in a faster decision for you.